Hey, Akawaha Boy rocks, and it's time to head out back to Soccor Creek, Eastern Oregon, and go check out another spot up the hill from the last one we were at. So let's get out there. Well, it's a much nicer day, about 9 o'clock in the morning. Had a little bit of a ride to get over here, but we're getting ready to go into Soccor Creek for try number 2. Hopefully get some better quality Thundereggs this time. Alright, even though I'm driving a Jeep, I'm a firm believer that discretion's the better part of valor. I'm out here by myself, and none of these paths look too much fun with the rocks. And this road is, as they say, slick as snot. I could just picture getting up on one of these tilts and sliding off into a rock or something. My tires are not mud tires, so I'm gonna take a little walk and get to the next bed. Well, I'm just walking and there's pieces of Thunderegg in the ruts in the road. Okay, I'm finally up here in the next area. This is the view down to the road I came in on. The campground is down and behind those rocks. Looks like someone's been digging something right over there. But I think I am not going to find out what. There are parts and pieces of material. Some you could call parts of Thunderegg, some's just parts of Rhyolite. And then a hole here that's full of parts and pieces. So it looks like that's been dug and filled back in. I'm going to spend a little time wandering around. I know there's some more back that way. See what I see in the tailings and then decide to dig somewhere. And I should add, before I get too far, I did find these 2 whole little baby eggs in the washed out ruts of the road sitting right on top on the way up. Here's the weathered out Rhyolite material at this bed that all this stuff's coming out of. I don't think it's going to be much good at all, other than I'll probably take a couple little pieces for specimens. I guess there's some evidence of some waterline agate in there, so I might keep this one. But I'll go through here. Like I said, I'm going to walk around a little, and then I'll come back and do some digging. There's more over here. Probably all over the place up here. There's a double with a little baby attached right on top. It feels pretty heavy, so I'm hoping there's some agate in that. So you can tell people have dug here and filled in. So I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to check out what's over there at those rocks and then circle back. Okay, I've walked all over up here, and along this seam seems to be the spot. Like right there is even a part of an egg someone left. A couple pieces. So think I left my shovel right up here. So I'm going to go get that and start digging. Of course, lots and lots of little tiny ones. And the benefit of these, they were washed clean by the rain. When I start pulling material out of here, it's not going to be. This is full of eggs. I didn't haul water up here to wash these with, so I'm just going to have to kind of guess that that's an egg. That's a whole one. I think there's a whole one or close to whole one there. All right, as I dig down here, the undisturbed crumbly eggs seem to just follow this line. So I'm guessing this whole hill area here is the weathered out egg bed. And then, of course, this is all tailings, but all I'm doing is crunching up eggs as I dig. I'm not really getting any whole ones out. They're just so thick in there, they just crumble as you put the shovel through them. So I'm going to go through this stuff, look for some more whole, fragile eggs, and then I'm going to move on. Looks like people have been trying to work these things out of here. More power to them. You know, maybe they got one out there and there. These boulders all over here. It looks like there might be. Better watch out what else might be in here. Oh, that's a whole one. That's most of one. You can see some opal in there. So I might find a few leftovers looking around in here. Now, right over there is where I was, behind that sagebrush. So I'm not far away, but it's fairly different here. Okay, got a handful of little ones. They look very different, even though they're just from over there. So I'm going to go look around there some more. Okay, now that I look at this area, this is obviously where I'm supposed to be digging. There's more solid eggs. The pieces that are left look better, but I don't think I have time to get down 4 or 5 feet to get to the good eggs. I might dig a little hole real quick and see if maybe it's quicker than that, but I have a feeling it's probably 4 or 5 feet to get down to these ones people have left on the surface. Alright, I dug a little hole, found a couple little ones and that broken one that I can cut a face on. So I would actually call this area and that area 2 distinct beds. The eggs are very different. So I'm going to leave you with a little panorama of this spot and call it a wrap for this area. There's another one on the way back to the car I'm going to check out. So here is the material that I brought back from that location. Ignore the wood chips, that's my packing material to get it home. So I think I kind of explained in the video, there's a couple of different things going on up there. We've got one bed with a more solid agate, and I really didn't have digging time by the time I found where these were, but it looks like I can see some water line. So I'm going to do some cuts on some of these. See what I can get. Here's another good one that I think will make an okay face cut. Got a almost complete back there. Those really resemble some of the eggs that I've gotten in boxes from Soccor Creek. So I suspect that's where they came from. Then I've got, oh, here's one more. Then I've got some of this other material that we looked at. Lots of little sparkly crystals in there. And as you probably could tell in the video, these locations are, what, 50 feet maybe away from each other. I got some little hole eggs. These feel really light, like they're going to be hollow. I grabbed some conglomerate chunks. So we'll cut some of that on the drop saw. This one feels feels solid. Like there might be a whole chunk of agate in there. It might be interesting. Here's a broken piece that you can see those sparklies really well. This is probably going to be, I'm just guessing it's going to be calcite or something like that. That is not my forte, identifying those little things. There's another one, if I can, it's probably not going to focus down in there. But anyway, you get the idea. Lots of different chunks of stuff. Lots of sparkly hollow Thundereggs. And I'm going to get some of them over to the saw and start cutting. Before I head over to the saw, I thought I'd give this jeweler's loupe technique a try since I don't have a microscope. So there's those crystals and these hollow Thundereggs. This is one of the broken ones. So pretty cool. I'm not used to seeing a lot of this in Thundereggs, but as you'll see as I go on with my trip, it's not the only location that I saw it. Okay, the first thing I'm going to cut is going to be this conglomerate piece, and there is a lot of that crystal going on in here and a lot of my wood chips. So I don't know if this is just going to be a chunk of crystally rock or if there's going to be some Thunderegg in it or what's going on, but I'm going to give it a cut. Okay, here we go. Okay, I have cut some of this material up from the second spot at Soccor Creek, and let's take a look at it. First off, this chunk of matrix I thought might have some Thundereggs in it. It does have some of the crystal material in it that I found inside of the Thundereggs that I already showed you. It does not have Thunderegg material in it. Well, I don't know. You could stretch and say that a couple of these voids could be Thundereggs, but I wouldn't. But all in all, I would say it's a cool rock. I mailed a cool rock home to myself, and I like it, but not really Thunderegg, not all that sparkly, but I think it's a cool rock. Now let's look at some of the Thundereggs from that spot. So these kind of resemble some of the junk eggs. Sorry if you see a piece of kitty litter stuck in there. I haven't really cleaned these out, haven't polished them, but sort of resemble some of the junk eggs from the campground bed, what I call the campground bed, but no hardness to them really. They're the pretty brittle, soft material that I kept talking about in the video. There's another one, multi-chamber, same material. Here's one of the more interesting ones of this batch. That actually has a little common opal in it. So same kind of crumbly material, but it actually bothered to form a little common opal. Then I'm going to move along to the other spot that appeared at the end of the video, which is where I should have been spending my time. And the outside matrix of this is more interesting. You've got one little red bump going on either side of this, but it's more interesting. And then the inside, actually a little clear agate. This one was trying to form a little pocket or water line or something. And keep in mind, remember, this was just pretty much surface picking and picking up other people's rejects. So there's the next one. And we're going to start to get a little more interesting here. Yeah, that's an all right Thunderegg, I think. Here's one that I just, was pretty much, I don't really have it lined up there, but broken egg, kind of broken on both sides. That looks okay. This half is mostly junk. That half will polish. Here's a little one, same thing, broken, half a good egg there. Another broken one, and I'm gonna get a little more water than that. That's not a great reveal, but That's a pretty nice egg. So I've got almost complete there and pretty decent agate in there. And then coming up is my favorite one. Got a little breakage there. And then even got a druzy pocket. You know, this is one someone else dug up and discarded because of this. And then cut it open, it looks like that. Take that any day of the week. And then one more. I don't know if this is better or worse than any of the other ones. Get the other piece of it here. So this is, you know, really interesting rhyolite. Got all those little red spherical bumps on it. And then cut it open, and we've got a kind of multi-chamber lumpy Thunderegg going on here. Here's the little piece that broke off over here from this one. And all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, now I'm going to do something that I want to start doing at the end of these Thunderegg Thursday videos and give you a little preview. This is a fragment of an egg. This came from a claim owner in Antelope, Oregon. If you look up Antelope, you'll see it is right downtown Thunderegg City. So for a little fragment, the troidal I haven't cleaned off yet. And then when you cut that, it almost looks like lace agate. And I don't know if you can pick up that little same color plume in there, in the middle of that spot. Almost looks like a little fill port for the agate to come in there. So this will be featured maybe 4 months from now or so, but this will be featured in a future Thunderegg Thursday video. I have a whole box of this material. Okay, that was the second stop at Soccor Creek. It actually was 3 different beds I visited, 2 that you saw right up there at the top. One more will be in next Thunderegg Thursday's video. It is one I passed on the way back down. There was another one if I had continued the road up and around, no more elevation gain, but probably a 1/3 to 1/2 mile of walking in that soupy mud that I was walking in, sticky, nasty stuff that kept me from driving the Jeep up that slope. So it is going to have to just hang out there until my next visit. You could see by the quality of the eggs, I should have been digging in the second place the whole time. I was really pressed for time with that rain out I had the day before that you saw the tail end of. I didn't get to spend the entire day in Soccor Creek like I wanted to. So this stop, 4 different locations total that I went to this one day. That was an original travel day. I got up earlier than I had planned, and I was on my way to, spoiler alert, Hampton Butte to dig petrified wood. So I was going from the Homedale, Idaho area all the way over to Central Oregon to Hampton Butte, and I went via a long dirt road through Soccor Creek. So that's kind of why I wasn't spending a lot of time digging, but next time I will be spending some time digging in the second little area that I showed you in this video. So you saw the beautiful views, You saw the mud, you saw the eggs. Now you may even hear the thunder here in Central Florida, but I can't wait to go back. The second time in this location, well really third time if you count that I went 2 different days this trip, so I really want to get back there, and I will show you a little bit more of it next Thunderegg Thursday. See you then.